Oh, Susie Ross. Okay. All right, Susie. Where are you, Susie? Participants. Where are you, Susie? There she is.
There she is.
We need to turn that up. We need to turn that up. Okay.
Good morning,
Hi.
reporters.
Good morning. You just got up?
Did what?
You just got up?
Did I just get up?
You
Did you
said
say-
good morning.
Did you say good morning?
Oh, good afternoon. It is afternoon. Sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay. It's okay. Hey,
I did not just get up. No.
Darn.
you sure are.
See, now I got that too light.
You've been
Hello there.
Hey
sandbag.
there.
You've been
Good
sandbag.
night.
You are a pro at hosting meetings.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you are.
You did a good
No.
job, Susie.
They just laughed. They just laughed at me. I said, oh, I've got 2 questions here. Oh, I'm done now. And somebody said, we can do for the next, hour and
You
then
had more
whatever.
than 2.
I did.
You had about 5.
I did some research on basketball and why we actually are a basketball state.
Oh,
Do you want me to darken us up a little bit?
no,
Okay.
no. How do we look light enough, don't we, on the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi, Becky.
Hi. How
Yeah.
did you enjoy Galvin or South Padre?
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. I wouldn't go back there for a vacation.
No.
I did have a good time.
That's good.
Yeah, you had a good time with his
I
brother.
thoroughly enjoyed the sea turtle rescue,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
whatever the sanctuary.
Mhm.
And I also really enjoyed the bird sanctuary. I learned some things there.
Ah.
When we
Buddy.
pulled up,
You want dinner? You want to go out, buddy?
pulled up in the parking lot, hang on,
Uh-huh.
and there were all these beautiful bushes. Although that was one of the few places on South Padre Island that had bushes with foliage.
It was all frozen off.
Because everything had gotten frozen. I'd forgotten that you guys had that freeze. Well,
Oh, yeah.
it killed everything. When we got there, that place looked like a desert.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was nothing. I mean, no trees, no bushes, nothing. It's like, what the heck is this? But anyway, back to the bird sanctuary. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
They had taken oranges and sliced the oranges and taken those slices and stuck them on the ends of limbs of bushes and trees. And they were just full of scarlet tanagers, Baltimore Orioles. What else? Oh, shoot. Oh gosh, I forget the other bird that has pink on it, pink, black, and brown. We get those. But anyway, it was cool. And they told the story about how when you guys had that freeze, that's when it hit me.
It's like,
Because
oh.
we got there on Tuesday and didn't go to that thing until Wednesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it hit me why there was that everything had been, because I think what they did was after it all froze and died, they went in and just cut it all down.
Yeah.
So they did have palm trees, but the palm trees were just little, little top knives.
Well, I was
But anyway.
surprised. I was surprised here. They said they have to watch those big tall palm trees because bats live in them.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And they went in there for refuge. And the ones that survived, of course, are in the tops of those trees.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So they're having to watch those because it's not what we have around. Well, I guess we do have a few of those, but we have the Mexican free-tail bats
Okay.
that live underneath Congress Avenue Bridge. And they come out every night, except the night we went down to wait for them, and then they never showed up.
Oh, okay.
No doubt.
Well, that's always cool. But anyway, what I learned when you guys had that terrible freeze, and this was in the national news, but I didn't connect
You
it
didn't pay
until I was
attention.
there. Well, I paid attention at the time, but that refuge sanctuary saved over 3,000 sea turtles.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, we had
the
it on
water,
news.
yeah, the water temperature dropped to just a little bit above 32.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
And they really don't do well if it goes beyond below like 56.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was like that paralyzes them and they were all going to drown. And so they rescued over 3,000. It was just that was really cool. And I must say that they had some very nice restaurants there, lots of junk restaurants.
Mhm.
But if you knew, and luckily my brother, Steve, had a friend that he hadn't seen in 20 years, and he's the guy that got us into this condo. I've told Susie's heard all this. But although I don't think she's heard one thing. I don't know if I told her this one, maybe I did. But anyway, one of the bad things about that place is every restaurant, it's first come, first serve.
Yeah.
No reservations. Well, he lives there in one of these. In fact, he owns like 4 or 5 units in that condo.
Mhm.
So they all know him. And so all he has to do is call and say, I need a table. And he gets a table. So
So they kept going out to eat with him.
yeah, so we went out to eat with him. Well, I hate to I don't want to dominate this conversation today, but I do have lots of stuff to tell you. So here, jot this down or
plus the weather
stick this
was
in your memory.
crappy.
If you ever still feel like, oh man, I'm just kind of, I've eaten too much or I got too, whatever. His lady friend, he's having all those kind of problems. This lady friend tells him, well, you need to get zoo poo. Did I tell you this one, Susie?
No, you
No.
did not.
Okay.
Zoo poo.
So it's spelled Z-U, zoo, poo, P-O-O, I think it's H, or it's just P-O-O.
Or just
Anyway,
P-O-O poo.
so this is one of those things where supposedly we never get rid of everything in our system. So it was like, it's a cleansing thing. You're supposed to take 2 a day for 15 days. Well, he says, okay, I'll do it. So he takes the first couple days, he's going along. Well, the 3rd day, he had this meeting someplace
Uh-oh.
and he took 2, but then he forgot. He says, did I take those 2? I don't think I took them. So he took 2 more. So he had this meeting. It's like, oh my God. And so he says, I start breaking out of the sweat. I had to get up and excuse myself. Then he comes back. He's only there about 15 more minutes. He's in this meeting again. And I mean, this was all about, I don't know, some kind of real estate crap or something. He says, I had to get up and excuse myself. He says, it was just terrible. I didn't. And he says the second time, this is a place of business. So the door was locked. Somebody was in the bathroom. He says, I just got ready to die. So then he makes it on the way home. Gets to his place and he can't make it any further. He makes it in the bathroom downstairs and he didn't make it. And he says, I got naked. I don't care. He says, it was just terrible. He says, I'm standing there naked and people were coming in and looking at me. It was unreal.
No,
So
you didn't
anyway,
tell
that was
me
one of the funny things that happened. But he knew all of the really good places to
Yeah.
eat, and we had some great, really good, really, really, really good meals there. One of the places, get this, and I think I told you this, Susie. One of the places was called F&B.
Yeah.
Have
Food
you
and
ever? Can you imagine what F&B stands for?
Food and beverage.
Food and beverage. That's the name of it.
Classy name.
F&B stands for food and beverage. But I'm telling you, it was 5-star. It was excellent.
Good.
So anyway, so that's that. Other than Susie
Look
already.
at her.
Oh,
Oh.
Races.
what is this the
This is
When-
May Day.
Heyday.
May
May
Day.
Day.
She's going, are you,
Hey,
race, we're recording.
oh, we're
it.
recording. Okay, Kentucky Derby today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got her
It's
hat
Derby
on.
Day.
It's a Derby.
Derby
Now
Day.
we're still trying to get you connected to audio, Sandy.
Yeah.
Here comes Mom. But anyway, so anyway,
Come on, Connect.
So I do
Connect,
need to,
connect.
There you go.
I do need to
There.
thank Susie.
There.
As far as I'm concerned, I was telling her, you guys just came on, she was sandbagging us all. She is a pro when it comes to hosting.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm thinking I should hand off the baton.
No.
So anyway.
The pro actually is Jimmy Hoke here with this daggone music.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Oh, my
yeah. So
God,
that
yeah.
gets me to the next
Yeah,
thing. Thank
yeah,
you,
yeah,
Jimmy. The music has been great, but I do want you guys to, Jimmy and I, for a while, he never heard from anybody other than Steve Van Zant and myself. And he thought, well, maybe those people never listen to that
I
kind
know.
of, don't like it.
Well, I know, I heard from others.
Oh, okay. So then I was worried that, well, maybe, what
Okay.
about the people who
What's
just
wrong,
love
baby?
classical? Or what about the people who just love country? Or what? So,
Love the Rolling Stones.
there's Jane Ann, yeah.
That's
anyway.
you, Jane Ann. That's you.
So if you guys can send him or me or both of us any requests that you kind of stuff that you'd like him to research and then that kind of thing. And so, but that's been fun. Now, I am an old time rocker, and I'll tell you, I about fell out of my chair when that Procol Harum thing came on. Of course, I always read Jim's thing first,
Oh, my God.
and I read about it.
That was amazing.
But
That was amazing.
and I didn't know, I thought that was a beautiful setting. And Jim, and then I looked out to the side on the YouTube thing where they have the thing at the side, and it looked like, was that from Denmark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh, my
was
Denmark.
gosh.
Denmark. And I don't know if you guys noticed that because Jim didn't mention it, I
What
don't
is
think.
she got?
But anyway,
2006.
that
Oh,
was,
my gosh.
man, that was amazing.
It was truly amazing. It took me way back. Yeah. It was.
Yeah. And those guys look good. And that lead singer, he still has a strong voice.
Amazing.
Strong. I mean, that sounded to me just like it was back when he did it.
Mhm.
And
Of course, that was 16 years ago.
yeah.
15 years
Oh,
ago.
well,
That was recorded 16 years
He
ago.
said
15 years ago.
Okay, I
Ah.
didn't notice that. Wow. Well, even then, still.
He's still singing, I guess. I hear.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I love those ones that you've been putting on there that you talked about last week, where I forget the name of that organization where
Playing
they
for
always
change.
get everybody
Playing
collaborative.
for change.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grateful
all those
Dead.
people on there. That was just neat.
That was totally cool.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys really love the Deep Purple, right?
I did.
I did.
Oh, I
listened to that
absolutely
one.
loved it. I'd forgotten all about them. No, I did. I was just kind of disappointed that we didn't have a video.
Well, for one of them, yeah. For the other
Yeah.
one, well, I don't know. It was 1972, and they were doing the typical video you see for a heavy metal band.
Oh, okay.
It had lights, and
Okay.
Mhm.
it was interesting. Takes you back.
Now, I want to set something straight here.
Uh-oh.
So, as you
Oh.
know, no, this is, and it's not Susie's fault.
Oh,
No,
did I misspeak?
No. So Jane Ann, of course, did not go on that trip with me.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason she didn't go is because she's still not comfortable yet getting in in airports and on airplanes. Now,
That's not what I heard her say.
Susie got it almost right. It's not that.
Okay.
Jane Ann,
So
Jane
in
Ann loves,
addition to that,
Jane Ann loves, and I do,
Sheila.
his wife,
Yeah.
Sheila.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, there's a side story to that. My brother's been married
4 times.
four
This is
times. This
4.
is his 4th marriage.
He finally got it right, we think.
But he has been with Sheila. He hired her right out of college
Uh-huh.
to be his administrative assistant. And so Jane Ann and I have known Sheila for years.
Yeah.
and
30 years or whatever.
And
yeah,
it
40
it
years.
takes Steve a long time to finally see the light. And he finally sees the light, and they finally get married, and he is like a totally different person
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
But
He's getting better.
no, Jane Ann doesn't get along with brothers.
Yeah, I don't get along with
It's
Steve. very
Steve.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Steve that she does. I heard
Steve.
her say I don't get along, and I thought it was the
Yeah,
wife.
it's Steve. It's not
Yeah.
his wife.
Yeah,
And in fact, other than his first wife, and I never did know his second
No.
wife, but
Yeah.
his third wife, and I've told you
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah.
Her name is Sally Porter, and Sally Porter is married to Scott Porter, who is in Richmond. And Sally,
No.
no, Tom,
what?
his
Not
third
true,
wife is
Tom.
Sally Navrin.
Well,
true
what
at
was
all.
her married name? Porter, Sally Porter.
No, her maiden name was Navrin.
Yeah, Steve Porter is the one that's married to Sally.
Okay, it's Steve. Okay, Steve Porter. Well,
They were married for just a
you're
little bit, yeah.
That's right, exactly right. Because what's weird about it was my brother Steve had a wife named
Number
Sally,
3, yeah.
Right.
and Steve Porter in
Yeah,
Richmond
yeah.
has a wife named
And
Sally.
Sally was a
Right,
very
exactly
classy
right.
lady. She
Yeah.
was a very classy lady, very
But
nice.
it's not the
And we
same
still
person.
stay in touch with her.
Yeah,
She's really
yeah,
cool. But
yeah.
anyway, I just wanted to set the record straight because if somehow
Sorry.
Sheila, his current wife, would ever see this,
Yeah,
Okay,
What-
well, let's, it's Steve. I heard
Yeah.
you say I don't get along, and I thought it was the wife.
no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah.
So, one other thing I wanted to tell you is I just came back from going over to an open house. It was part of a fundraiser. It was actually celebrating the culmination of a fundraising event that my business partner is the one who's in charge of all fundraising for that. And it's called Rock Steady Boxing.
Oh,
And Rock Steady Boxing, for those of you who don't know, is connected to, and its primary focus is for people with Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
And so I recently, when they were doing this one, I donated money to their fundraiser in the name of Kelly Fitzharris. My good friend and former college roommate and very close friends of ours, Ron Mueller, his wife, Mary Jane, has Parkinson's, but he donated. So he
Yeah.
did it in her name. So, but anyway, I wanted you guys to know that, but a little story about, have any of you heard of Rock Steady Boxing? Now, we may stump Bob. Okay,
Yeah.
I knew it. There's no
Yeah.
way Bob Van fell in.
Well, Tom, a golf pro here in Richmond is a guy named Doug Coons. He's at the Elks, Charlie Beal's place. And Doug is a victim of Parkinson's. And he is hooked up with the University of Kentucky Hospital at Lexington. And they have a tournament here called Pros for Parkinson's.
Mhm.
And over the last 10 or 12 years, they've donated $565,000 to Parkinson's research that's split between Rock Steady at Richmond,
Mhm.
Reed Hospital, and the University of Kentucky Medical Center.
Cool.
And I'm not sure that Doug wasn't maybe one of the guys that kicked off Rock Steady. I'm sure you can find that out, but
It
Rock,
was-
yeah,
situation is getting worse.
Rock Steady was
Was
actually
Rock Steady. Okay.
founded.
I have a
Rock-
friend who has Parkinson's in California, and it's a really devastating
Yeah.
disease.
Yeah.
My stepfather died from it.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, a lot of us, have probably been touched by some way. We have, all of us have, just because of Kelly.
in
Yeah.
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah. So, but Rocksteady was actually founded by a guy in Indianapolis who was at the time the prosecutor for Indianapolis, Indiana. He was about 44 years old, but he had been a boxer, and he figured out that boxing actually helped him with his Parkinson's, helped slow it down, helped him function better. So it was and today Rocksteady Boxing is worldwide. And so any of you who ever end up knowing somebody who's got Parkinson's, and if they're not familiar with Rocksteady Boxing, it really is
Yeah.
it's not just a great organization. It is, but it will really help people with Parkinson's
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah, sure does.
So anyway, so I wanted to tell you about that, and then kind of a segue. So Dave Harold sent me a message today and said that he couldn't be on because he had been out Monday, Wednesday, and hang on, let me find this. Monday, Wednesday, and today. If you recall, he told us that he volunteers and takes vets,
Mhm.
especially if they're wounded vets,
Yeah.
on sailing, out sailing.
Oh my God.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
he sent me a message, and it's a beautiful picture. I just got it. And he said, this is for you, after, because I responded and said, hey man, this is really great. I'm glad you're doing this. It's called Veterans on Deck. A nonprofit sailing group offers a lifeline to soldiers with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's what he's doing.
Great.
And pictures of it.
Forward that to everybody.
Yeah, so I'll forward this, figure out a way to forward this to you guys. I told him that I would tell everybody about it today. And
Where is he, Tommy?
he is in South
South
Carolina,
North
and
Carolina.
he's got to be near the ocean.
Yeah.
Exactly where I've kind of forgotten. I'll see if I can look that up. Could you look up David Harold, his address?
Yeah.
But of course, we all know he was a former sailor, and he knows all about how.
Somerville, South Carolina.
Somerville, South Carolina. That doesn't tell me
I
where
have no idea
Somerville
where
is.
that is.
So I don't know, but I know it's near the ocean.
Yeah.
Not just a lake. Not so. And then Diane Whistle, and I know all the girls know about this, and Diane sent me a long message today and said, hey, I just want to make sure everybody knows that why I can't be on right now. And she said, I didn't want to go into all the detail about it. But I know that she would appreciate, and I know she's getting them from all of the girls, but appreciate anybody, our thoughts, prayers, however you want to send positive vibes to her for her son, Tony. They finally diagnosed that he has not only liver cancer, but it's spread to his
Oh.
colon and also his lung. This is going to be a horrible way to go, folks. I've observed it in my sister, and also my friend Ron Mueller, his daughter died of it at 44. And so he is home now with Diane at home in hospice. And she said the girls know the story, but our other classmates don't know Tony. And so I didn't feel right sharing my devastating news on Zoom, and that would have been okay with us. But if she didn't feel comfortable, that's okay. She says, I have been listening to the recordings, and that gives me joy. You guys are so great to welcome us all into the lives of our classmates. And I enjoy the talks, even about sports. Oh, that kind of got me. Diana, as you know, Diana and I go way back. We worked at Rolfie's together, and her older brother and my older brother were good friends. So we all knew each other as kids. So anyway, I know that she would appreciate it if we were always, thinking about her. So I'm sure she got her hands full right now.
Oh my gosh.
How old is Tony?
He's
50.
Oh, he's
Is he just 50?
Yeah,
large.
So way too young.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Am I recording? Yeah, okay. And so I got one last one, and I'll shut up. Now this is important. Bobby, I'm glad to see you on here today. Can you hear us all right, Bobby?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So Steve Van Zant and I are going to be driving over to Richmond on Wednesday. Today's May Day, of course, but Wednesday's Cinco de Mayo. It just happened that way. But we're going to be driving over, and we're going to go pick up Bob, and we're going to go to lunch. And I specifically called Andy Vandervoort because he doesn't have a computer. He doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't have a clue what's going on. So I keep him informed by calling him. And I never call. I just called him at 1:45 today and got him out of bed. So I told him Wednesday he's going to have to get up early to go to lunch.
Yeah.
And I called Dick Bird because Dick is not always able to, he doesn't have the same excuse Andy does, but he's not always connected. So Dick's going to go. But I'm throwing it out there. This is not just a guy thing. Okay. So I don't know where Vicky is. Now, see, Sandy was afraid we were going to invite her, so she just got up and left. But this is an open invitation to anybody in Richmond who would like to go and is available. And, please, okay, the more the merrier. It's going to be at,
That means you, Sandy.
yeah, it's going to be at Chuck's. If you know where Chuck's is, that used to be Connie Marker's place, Connie's on North 15th and E, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
But anyway, and so we're going to pick up Bob at about 11:30, somewhere in there. And we're going to head over and we'll meet everybody there, get there between 11:45 and 12, and we'll have a nice lunch. Celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Oh,
Take some pictures for us.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know. We will take pictures.
Get some pictures.
Yeah, so everybody's welcome. So Bobby, that's you. I'm hoping that everybody who's not on the call still watches. By the way, I did watch. That was the first time I watched our recording. I always watch it in the beginning to make sure it's working, but then I don't watch it. So that was the first time I watched one. Boy, that was good, Susie. You were good.
Watched it last week too, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
mean, I watched later in the week because I wasn't here last week, but
And I was going through my notes, and I may not have this exactly right, but I had a paper
my
date
dog.
for the
Sorry.
first Zoom, because I had Ginger's name written down and a whole bunch of stuff, with the passcodes and all that crap. So I figured that, okay, it could have been that our first Zoom call was right around 3/28/20. But if that's the case, then we've done about 56 of these. in a row. So
In 328.
I think it was 3/28/20.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a Saturday or not. That could have been the date of the day that I was trying to figure out what to do for that coming Saturday. So,
Because I missed a lot of introductions, like what is Judy Herbst? I have no idea. I know she's where she lives and she likes horses, but I don't know anything else about her. I missed all that.
right.
And I was
'cause
trying to
it took,
catch up, but
it took us a while to convince you to do it.
right.
And we have to thank Vicky for getting you to finally get on with us. So
Yes.
we're so
I
happy.
don't know where she is today, but
Yeah, and obviously it's okay. Anybody can get on, hop on, hop off. That's the way it's supposed to work. But for all of us regulars, when a regular isn't on there, it's like I worry. So
Well,
hopefully everything's okay.
I've been to Indianapolis and then a couple times, and then Emma's birthday, our granddaughter's birthday was the 22nd. So I've missed because I haven't been here or things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
All
missed,
right. I'll be quiet.
I missed the first part, but I just got on and I just went, wow, Vicky, you're all dressed up and ready to go somewhere. So did I miss why you're wearing a fancy hat?
Sandy. It's Sandy.
Oh, Sandy,
Yeah.
because I have this is Derby Day, and ever since the children have been little, I used to make my hats and put weird things on them. And and my daughter still does that too. She has her hat for today.
Mhm.
And we have our winners. I like Hot Rod, Charlie, and that's who I'm, going for. But we've done this for years.
Oh, that's so.
My mother always liked the Derby too, so we're just big Derby fans. And my daughter got to go not last year, but the year before
Wow.
with her business connections.
Cool.
So we just love the Derby.
Yeah.
Sandy, there's a great Derby story that I don't know if everybody here is aware of or not, but there's a mattress guy in Louisville. They call him Mattress Mark, M-A-R-K. And he bets $500,000 on the Derby favorite every year.
Oh my goodness.
If you go to his mattress store and buy a mattress that's valued at $3,000 or more, regardless of how many people around the country buy one, he agrees that if he wins the Derby, your mattress is free. And he
good
gets
idea.
publicity out of that every year. He's like Roger Richard, he's always going to save you money on mattresses and stuff. It's a heck of a story. I ran into it the other day on Bleacher Report. And Mattress Mark is the guy's nickname.
I wrote it down because,
Good stuff.
yeah.
I want to update everybody on Nancy Best when you said people were missing. Nancy is in the hospital.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, I think she's okay, but she went in for to have a stent put in her leg because she has to do that periodically for plaque that builds up in her arteries. So when they did it, I guess it was day before yesterday, she stayed in the hospital that night to make sure she was okay. Next morning, she couldn't move her leg. And so they found out that they had nicked an artery.
Oh, mm.
Blood was pouring into her leg.
oh, geez.
They have drained off 8 pints of blood.
Oh,
And she's going to be there till Monday at least. So she's,
Hopefully they filled her up. Hopefully-
no, they did not give her I said, wait, aren't you going to have a transfusion? They said, the doctor said, well, you might need a little iron.
oh, a little.
You know?
Yeah, I would think so.
Susie,
Yeah.
wasn't she's supposed to be going on vacation soon?
I don't think I don't think that's until later on in May, I think, maybe.
Hmm.
Does Nancy live in Indianapolis then, or where does she live?
No,
Maybe
she lives
Texas.
in Richmond, Texas.
Oh, okay.
or Houston. It's
Yeah,
it's outside. of-
Texas,
Yes.
Houston.
Well,
But
she's
yeah,
lucky she didn't. She's lucky she didn't bleed
Oh,
out.
my gosh.
Oh,
Thank
Well,
heaven.
if they would have sent her home, she
Stayed in the
would.
hospital. yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Oh,
I'm glad she's gonna stay in the hospital and get care.
yeah.
yeah.
I am too. Yeah.
They rarely keep you unless,
Yeah,
or hardly anything. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
Dwayne was in day with his knee surgery. He had a Tuesday and they kept him till Wednesday. And then I brought him home and he's doing fairly well, except in pain.
I don't hear him screaming.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Well, if I do my duties and keep that ice cuff going, then
Okay. So he can't get up and move around.
yeah. Oh, no, he's up moving around.
Oh, okay. So
They
you
want you
can't.
to move around and they want you to do exercises.
Mhm.
Okay.
But right now he's resting.
Okay. Okay.
When did he have it this week?
Tuesday, yes, Tuesday, this Tuesday.
Okay.
I guess for the first 2 weeks, it's quite painful. Although Felice didn't really say that, but
Mm-mm.
Of course,
think he was-
she's a pro at having them. She's had.
Yeah.
well, yes, yes. Well, this
She
is Dwayne's second, but in the other leg, in the right leg.
Okay.
That means he won't be able to drive and things like that.
Oh,
When
good.
will he play pickleball again?
Oh, yes, if at all possible. Play pickleball.
Okay. So Bobby, we haven't seen you for a while. What you been up to?
Very busy.
Busy.
We close at 2, but I'm lucky to get out of here by 4. I have a question because I forgot. I had talked to Matt Stiegel.
Yeah.
We were talking about maybe wanting to do a walkthrough. And I didn't remember the dates you're talking about.
Okay.
And the other thing is, he thinks he could do a walkthrough basically to the Star District
Okay.
and the depot as far as going to the big old mansions.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know enough of what you would want to do and when and what time.
Okay.
So think about it, and next time I get on, let me know.
Okay. Or do I have your phone number?
I doubt it.
Could you give it to me so that once you tell it, everybody will have it?
Let Dr. have it. So go ahead. 765
Oh, that's right. 765
977
977.
9887.
Okay, I'll give you a call. I know Matt. also,
Well, you jogging then. I mean, he's hardly, well, right now they're so busy. It took me 5 days before he ever answered my phone call, so. But
why is he so busy?
why?
Yeah, is it, I mean, because of COVID?
Well, yeah, he's got, this is rude, but he's got more bodies than he knows what to do with.
No kidding.
I know that's rude, but I
Okay,
know we all want booming business, but that isn't the kind of business that I'd want to be booming in.
right.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah, let's, I'll call you first and you and I can talk about it. And I'm happy to be the guy then that talks to him,
Yeah, that would be great.
included in the
Get him.
planning
You
and
can
all of
get
that.
him.
Yeah.
But I just can't always get on. I mean, I'm just lucky. I just got on this, well, when I did. Bob Van Pelt. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What place are you staying at?
Frank DeVito is at a place called Largo Medical Center.
No, where are you staying at?
Oh, I'm in Arbor Trace, Bob. I'm sorry.
An Arbor Trace? Okay.
Yeah, I'm off of Henley Road and what's the road out front? Garwood, Henley and all that tie together out here on the extension of L Street coming out this way.
All right.
Lodging Road is that what's called?
All right. I have a,
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
friend that is
Let the
like,
dog out.
I'm looking for a place for her.
Okay.
Room 224, Bob.
Okay.
Well, Bobby, if you are looking for a place for your friend, of course, Bob can be a great reference, but my aunt had stayed there when she was ill,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this was several years ago, and it was a really, really top-notch place.
Mhm.
Now, is that the one by, the road comes in from Walmart?
Yes,
It's Cardon Industries, Bob, out of Bloomington.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's who
but-
runs this one. But I checked the other day for Frank DeVito and they don't have a room here. They're full right now.
Are they? Well, the other choice we
Yeah, the
have.
administrator here, Bob, the administrator here is a lady named Shelley Ross, ROSS.
Okay.
Great gal, you probably know her. She was at Applebee's when they first opened up.
Okay.
But it's, like I said, I checked with Frank the other day because they were thinking about bringing him up here. And then his family decided to keep him down there because they think it's fairly short-term deal.
Okay.
But he is on a ventilator now. I told Tom this morning.
Mm.
They were going to move him to an extended care facility on Thursday afternoon. And by Friday morning, he was on a ventilator.
Mhm.
And I tried to check for an update before we got on the call and I couldn't find out anything at all today.
And Tom, by the way, what zip code or what
Area
area
code?
are you gonna be calling from?
317.
317, okay.
I can give you my, you want my phone number?
Yeah, go ahead.
317-752-4327.
Okay.
Oops.
I sometimes do not answer my phone when I don't,
Yeah, I understand. No, I understand. Yeah,
We do the same thing.
yeah. No, I understand, but I'll leave a voicemail. You have voicemail?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If I don't recognize, it, I just let it go to voicemail and then I decide.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
If they don't leave a message, I figure it's not important.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Somebody sent me a Christmas tree at Christmas and I didn't recognize the number,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
right? And I text back, I says, well, it's a lovely Christmas tree. And Bob sent me that was him. So I had his house number, but I didn't have his cell number.
Oh, funny.
So,
So, but who sent it to you?
Bob Ridgway,
Oh, really? Bobby?
I
You're
got this
so
nice little pretty Christmas tree. And I said, well, that was nice. Somebody sent that to me and didn't know who it was. So I wrote back and it says, well, it's lovely, but I'd like to know who sent it. He sent it from his cell phone and I didn't have that number.
Secret admirer. Yeah.
Well, Sandy, do you think that you could make it to our luncheon?
Well, I don't know because Dwayne has
Yeah.
not been out that long and I'm
Gotcha.
pretty much homebound
Yeah, okay.
because I'm the head nurse.
Well, since Vicky's not on today, I think she normally watches this, but I may give her a call.
And I'll probably see her out.
Yeah, if
Walking.
you see her, mention it, and then
And I'll
Bobby,
ask her. Yeah.
yeah, please do. And then Bobby, you think you could make it?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't know which Bobby you're talking to. so-
Well, I call Bob either Bob or BVP, and I'll call you Bobby.
Okay. I don't, when are you I don't even remember the dates.
Well, we're gonna get together this coming Wednesday for lunch at Chuck's, which used to be Connie's.
Cannot get away from the store. I
Oh,
can't.
okay.
The
Well,
guy
I
that
thought-
worked for me for 30 years passed away a year ago.
Carry those chairs in for him.
Ooh, that's too bad.
Ask him.
I was planning on retiring.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so, well, if you could mention it to her, and then I thought I may try to get in touch. There was somebody else that I was gonna call. But anyway, it will be Dick Bird, Andy, myself, Steve Van Zamp, Bob, and anybody else that wants to come. So there you go. Carol, you're coming, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't. for the world.
If I could
Want to go play? Here comes Pete.
kidnap Susie,
Pete.
I would kidnap her and take her with me, but
Yeah.
I know that
She has to work.
she has to work.
Crazy girl.
So,
Crazy girl is right, yeah.
yeah, I may try and get in touch with Johnny Having, but he seems like
always
he's always
busy.
driving cars all over
Yeah.
the world during the week, so I don't know if he'll make it or not. So Jane,
Yes.
what's been going on out there besides the heat?
Well, the heat's just starting. It's starting today, and tomorrow I'm getting a special visitor for a few days, and it's going to be hot.
Who's the special visitor?
Carol.
Carol Fleming.
Yeah.
Ah,
The weather's been wonderful, but today is supposed to get up in the 90s and be in the 90s tomorrow. And Monday afternoon, we're going golfing.
Oh, boy.
And Tuesday, we're going to have lunch with Sunny and Tom. And I have lots of other things planned. She leaves Thursday. I'm going to go with my daughter on Friday to Coronado
Oh, good.
for Mother's Day.
Lovely.
And they're
Good.
flying me back on Monday, and on Tuesday, all Dave's sons arrive. Well, three
Oh,
sons.
my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm trying to get organized.
Now, and they're coming in for,
We're going to have a celebration of life.
okay, good. Okay,
We can do a military honors down at the
Wow.
ballpark park, and they're going to have a bugler, I guess, and the whole bit. So,
good.
Cool.
Okay, good.
because they have not been out here since Dave passed away.
Right.
So
Okay.
they've all had their vaccines now, and so
Have any of you guys gotten strange email from Sonny Haynes?
Yes.
Yes.
He must have got.
I was
hacked.
going to ask about that because so many times someone will ask for a friend request and really you're being hacked. So I never know what to do. I just don't.
Ignore.
One of the cues that I've been using, if somebody you haven't heard from gets on Facebook and says, "How are you doing?"
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That generally is a cue to me that somebody's been hacked or somebody's pirated their account or something. But I had a bunch of strange ones from Sonny, I don't know, a week or so ago, but they've all stopped now.
Wow.
Yeah, Felice texted me and said, is Sunny okay? Because she had gotten something from him. And
Yeah.
I called him and he said that he'd been hacked.
Mm.
Mhm.
His email.
I don't know if it has to do with Facebook or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I got an email from Elaine Norton
So
saying,
did I.
Oh, yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
but it was referring to Tom Pearson.
Mhm.
Might have been the
Wasn't Sonny.
same thing that happened to Sonny, I think, on that one from Elaine, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I thought that one from Elaine said that we just shouldn't try to do anything with them right now. 'Cause I
Tom
got-
Pearson?
Yeah, I got that one also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carol, when do you fly out?
Tomorrow morning at 7:45,
Oh, yeah.
What airline are you flying?
Alaska.
Oh, great. Well,
Cool.
then, no
Good
problem.
airline.
Well, and
Great airline.
she
Is
comes
that
into the
one-
smaller terminal, so it'd be pretty easy to pick her up, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Our terminals have just been jam-packed with people.
I'm gonna
How
leave.
how long is the flight, Carol?
Oh, it's a couple hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh,
not
that's
bad
not
at all.
too bad. No.
And we're
I'm
going to
looking
go and
forward
have
to-
lunch with my daughter when she gets in because she lives close to the airport. And after all these years, after all these years, I just lost you all. Carol and Laura have never met.
Oh, my
Right.
gosh.
Really?
Haven't.
Yeah, I know what she looks like. I've seen so many pictures. I know everything she does, but I haven't. met her. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to, I'll get on the airplane in a probably, I don't know, 40 degrees or 50-degree weather. And then
it'll
I'm gonna get off in 90. So I'm looking forward to going straight to Laura's house, meeting her and asking to change clothes.
Yes.
Yeah,
So we have a
but
very,
90 degrees for golf. I mean,
Well,
Oh, yeah,
is
I
it-
don't know. I don't know why we chose to do it. I think it's maybe
maybe
they
morning.
did a tea time.
no, they have it for 3:00. I asked today, we were playing pickleball and I said, whew, that's going to be hot on Monday. And they said, hey, we Arizonans are used to the heat. Now I don't play golf, so I'm riding along in the golf cart.
Okay.
They said to be sure and drink lots of water and that Powerade or something.
Yeah,
You drink that, Carol?
Mhm.
Gatorade.
I'm gonna go to the grocery when we're done here. And then we're gonna have happy hour. We're only golfing 9 holes and then happy hour.
All right.
Good. Okay.
Whoa.
3. Oh, gosh. That'll be after 4:20 though, won't it?
Yeah.
It'll probably be around 5-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you can get 9 holes in 2 hours, Carol?
Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
probably.
Okay.
I don't hit out of bounds like you guys do.
Yeah.
I just go right down the middle usually.
Well, guess what?
Smart
I don't
aleck.
hit, period.
Yeah.
I don't play it.
I know better than to play it. I'd kill somebody over on the road. Who knows?
That's probably what I do, dear.
Yeah. Dude.
Well,
Wait,
the reason I asked what you were flying is we normally fly Delta, and I couldn't get a flight to that South Padre Island. If you go through Texas, it's got to be American. And I was kind of dreading it, and it turned out that they were fantastic.
Yeah.
The Americans really gotten their act together. So for those of you who may decide to start
Go
traveling
to
again,
Texas.
American has really gotten their act together compared to the
Thank
way they
heavens.
used to be.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know about United.
No, I
I
don't think
never
they-
had good
They
experiences with
never
them.
get
But
their act together.
No.
I don't either.
well, I had a shock this morning because, I'm coming into Dayton and Richmond.
Right.
I wanted to rent a car because I wanted to go visit my friend Cheryl and maybe see other people in Indianapolis. Do you know what it is to rent a car in Richmond for a week?
Hold it. Yeah.
$600.
$600
Wow.
What? 600?
600.
for a week.
Well, that's not bad.
More than your
$600.
airfare.
It's way more than my airfare, and I'm coming from Arizona. So I asked my
$600.
Oh, no, we paid 500 for 2 weeks.
Are you getting
Well-
it at the airport, Jane?
no, because
Okay. 'Cause
and I
that's
don't want to drive back to Dayton to rent a car to drive to Indianapolis. So
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I asked my friend Cheryl if she would drive over to Richmond and pick me up, and she said she would.
okay. Well,
So I'm not going to be able to buzz around in Indy when I'm there. So she lives on Morse Reservoir.
no,
Okay.
I met Cheryl, right?
Yeah, she used to work for Olive, and she's the one that got, heavy.
Yeah.
We met you for.
Yeah. When we had lunch together. Yeah.
So if you want to visit me, come up to Morris and
Drive up to Morris.
yeah.
Well, remind me then when you're here and everything.
Okay.
Send me a
Of course,
text.
I will have just seen you a few days before, so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's not enough.
Okay. All right. Well, I will remind you.
Okay, okay. Now, my brother Tim and his wife are flying in Tuesday from Arcata, California, close to the Oregon border.
Yeah, he's coming to see Tom, but Tom's not going to be here.
So I told him, I says, hey, man, if that's when you want to come, that's fine. But there's one thing that isn't going to move, and that is my lunch with Bob Van Pelt.
Bobby Van Pelt.
So I'm sorry. But the thing of it is, they get in Tuesday at 8 p.m. That's only 5 p.m. I don't know when they will feel like going to bed. We usually go to bed 10 to 10:30. Well, that's going to be only about 7 or
Yeah, but they
7:30
have
their
to
time.
leave at like dark 30.
And
don't they?
then on Wednesday, they'll probably sleep in till noon,
Who knows?
because I mean, that would only be 9 o'clock in the morning their time. On
And then
their,
I'm going to send him out to weed.
Right.
anyway. But by the way, Carol, 90-degree weather in Arizona with it being so dry,
Right.
it won't be, it'll feel like 80.
I'm not worried about it. 90 actually sounds pretty good.
And then we can come home and hop in the pool.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Jane, would 90 bother you out there? Would that really bother you that much?
I'm sitting in the golf cart. It's not going to bother me. I played pickleball this morning. It was 85 and it didn't really bother me.
Okay.
Now that dry heat, it's not the same.
But when it gets over 100, then it
Yeah, if it gets,
Horrible.
yeah.
want to do anything too physical.
But now if it was 90 in Indiana with all of the 100% humidity, then you'd be
Oh,
dying.
that's
Noxious.
terrible.
It'd be awful.
Yeah. So Becky,
Mhm.
did you tell me, I know Nancy Best was telling me, don't go to South Padre Island, don't go to South Padre Island.
Right.
But
Right.
have you been there?
I've not been to South Padre, but I've heard stories, so I like Galveston a lot better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do in Galveston.
Yeah.
You've got the big aquarium and I don't know. I just found it. I haven't been to the aquarium. I intend to go, but we went down there for a weekend and just had a blast. Of course, our condo
Has
was
South
right
Padre
over the
recovered
ocean
any?
too.
What was the question, Bob?
Has South Padre recovered any at all? From the hurricanes and all that, or is it
Oh.
still all tore up?
It was still, as I was telling before you got on, when we got there, I was expecting it to look kind of tropical, and it looked like a desert. I mean, there was just the trees, no bushes, no trees. The palm trees that were there had not died, but they just had little top knots, and
Damage, yeah.
but it was all because of the bad weather they'd had, but it was really mostly the freeze they got.
And the storm and freeze and all that.
Yeah.
In our neighborhood, about every other yard that had an Arizona ash tree, those huge trees are just dead.
Oh,
So every one of the
Uh-huh.
Arizona ashes are going to have to be cut down.
oh my gosh.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
We just had thunder.
I've
Wow.
never heard of an Arizona ash tree.
Yeah,
Do they grow in
they're
Arizona?
quite popular here, or at least they were quite popular.
Won't be
Not
now.
anymore. But they're a quick
Need
growing
something?
tree.
Huh.
Why they call it Arizona, Jane, I don't know. Like,
Water?
evidently they plucked a seed out of
I
your
don't
state.
think We have ash trees here.
That might be the same tree, and we just tacked Arizona onto it. But I'm
We
glad I didn't have any.
Dum-dums.
We have these Palo Verde trees. And I was gone a week to Palm Springs, and when I came home, the yellow flowers totally covered my whole pool. You couldn't see water.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So the pool man came the next day and cleaned them out, but then it totally messed up my chemicals in my water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they just finally are off the trees now. They look so pretty and they are just such a mess.
Mhm.
That's the way our locust tree is out in the back. That's right
Really?
next to our house.
Mm.
Yeah, drops all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, I
Jane
learned
sent
one
me
thing
that-
through that storm. I had to have new windows.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
We had ice on Thursday, and then on Friday it was really windy. And there was some pretty good breeze going through them. So I've got new windows. That's
Oh, my gosh.
still trying to get things back, and curtains have to be readjusted, and at least the cafe curtains have to be readjusted.
Would the insurance take care of it?
I know, not on this case.
Darn.
Because it
Act of
was-
God, I believe, at the time.
I had to have the foundation leveled last year, well, year before last.
Mhm.
And that kind of screwed up the windows too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, would. Yeah.
so foundation's level and new windows.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna get a garage door opener. I'll be happy.
Okay. Good. So Carol, what were you going to ask? Do you remember? Carol?
I wasn't going to ask anything. I was going to tell you that Jane was talking about her trees, and she sent me a picture this morning. She
Oh,
said,
yeah.
I saw over my backyard, and it was a beautiful hot air balloon
Oh, my
Just-
gosh.
up in the
Yeah.
sky above her house.
Did any of you watch the national news and they were talking about the balloon festival in Goodyear?
Yeah.
And that
No.
was
No.
yesterday, so I guess this is just kind of left over from that, but I
Oh,
was
the
driving
picture.
home and it looked like it was gonna land in my neighbor's yard. And it flew over my house, and by the time I got my phone, it was past, but yeah, it was very low. You could see the people in the basket.
Oh, that's cool.
mm,
That's cool. On now we got to throw something in here about sports.
Why?
And this
Why?
this connects to Indianapolis. And this was on the national news. Now, I think I told you that I have this young man up in Quebec, Canada, and he loves Butler and he loves the Colts. And so I always send him articles out of the Colts paper and everything. So he follows them like crazy. And so that's caused me to do it. You know, I never followed them that closely. So, and we knew that they had to give away some real, low numbers for the draft to get the quarterback we got now. So they went the first night, and I don't know how long it took before they finally got to, have their
Pick somebody.
pick at the draft. But they needed,
21st would be time, yeah.
they needed a guy, a defensive end that would come in off the edge and rush the pass.
Right.
And they needed big time. And the guy that was left, that they probably were drooling and hoping and praying that they would get him all along, was this guy from Liberia. And they had, it's a fantastic human interest story about him and his family. He played at the University of Michigan. He was a all academic conference, Big Ten. I don't know if he had what else he was, all whatever. His family, they were over there when he was a very young child during the war over in Liberia. His father was killed during the war. His mother, I don't know what all she had to do, but eventually she got them out of Liberia. And I forget all the different countries, but she finally got to the United States. And she worked like 3, 4, 5 jobs that she was bound and determined that her son was going to get an education.
Yeah.
And
Really cool.
it was, I said, man, I can't stay up this late. I can't wait to find out who we're going to pick. So he says, don't worry, you go to bed. I'll let you know. I'll send you a text so when you get up in the morning, you'll know. And he told me who we got and told me a little bit about this. And then lo and behold, on the national news
Yeah.
last night, I think it was,
Yeah.
that they had this thing just about him. Of all the people that in the first round of the draft, they said, I want to tell you about this pick from the Indianapolis Colts, about this guy. And it was amazing. And this big guy was up there and he's holding this little lady, his mom,
His mom was
and
like,
he starts crying. He says, by God, he says, my mom's never working again. She is today. She is retired. She has never
No,
worked
she's not gonna have to work anymore. That was great.
the rest of her life.
yeah.
It was
cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Colts and this general manager is they don't just go after people that are really, really talented athletically. They got to have real good attitudes,
And brain.
brains, heart,
Yeah.
and team first, all this kind of stuff, or they don't pick them.
Yeah.
So this was just unbelievable pick for them. So I'm sorry about the sports thing, but I wanted to tell you it was more about the human interest thing. You get to see that it's very, very
Yeah, it
touching,
was a real
very
cool-
touching.
Very good report.
So Bob, I don't know if you saw that or knew anything about that. You want to add to that?
Oh, it was unreal. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Tom, let me tell you a quick story about the Ursay family. The people that own the Colts. I had a couple of young managers that got married while they worked for me in my restaurants years ago. They were later in life and they had a baby that had cystic fibrosis named Ben Brawley. Ben has never been out of a wheelchair or out of a incapacitated state in his life. But he's gone to education. He's got mobile bicycles and all that kind of stuff. And the family had a van. And the van was handicap accessible because it had to be. Their home was handicap accessible because it had to be. They lived over on the west side behind the high school. So as their van wore out, and they had an old conversion van that somebody did here in town that was handicap accessible, somebody got a hold of the Ursay Foundation and made them aware of Ben and the story about Rob and Pam that were hardworking people and all that. And the Ursay Foundation bought them a brand new handicap accessible van built for cystic fibrosis, wheelchair bound, Ben Brawley. And
Wow.
Ben is now 21 years old.
Oh my God.
In addition to that, they have 4 or 5 events a year, home games where Ben can come. He gets a sideline pass. His family's got a sideline pass. And they come down on the field, escorted and taken care of. And unbelievable testimony to that family.
Yes.
They didn't know him from Adam.
Yeah.
And somebody got a hold of the foundation about somebody that needed a van in Richmond, Indiana. Next thing you know, they've got this $90,000 or $100,000 van in the driveway.
Yeah.
Amazing story.
That's typical Jim Irsay.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't, the reason Bob brought Irsay up is the Irsay's own Colts. So they're the owners of that NFL
Yeah.
team.
Mhm.
So anyway, okay. Now, Sandy, you wear your hats every year. Have you ever gone to the Derby?
She said,
Oh, no, I haven't, but my daughter went a couple of years ago. So I just live vicariously.
Okay.
I love it though. I just love it.
yeah,
Everything about it.
So have you ever been down to Churchill Downs?
No, but we could do that.
Yes, you could.
my sister and I were down
We
there.
probably will. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody should do that once if they can. It's beautiful down there.
Oh.
It's really a beautiful place.
Yeah, funny story. My sister and I both recognize good horses. So she and I were down at Churchill Downs one time, and we when it's time, when the next race is up, we go down. We have to look at the horses. We look at the horses and we place our bets and we come back up. And I mean, we were just bombing. And we were just, I think we won probably like seven races out of 9 or whatever it was. And these guys, this
But you
really-
didn't bet.
Yeah, we did. We bet our $2.
Oh, okay.
That was all we bet.
$2.
$2. And so these same guys were sitting over in this place that we were. And about the 3rd or 4th time we came up and they said, "You didn't win again, did you?" And we said, "Well, you won again, yeah." And they, "How are you guys doing that?" Because they're just sitting there studying the numbers, they're not even looking at the horse. I said, we both said, "Well, gotta go look at the horses." And they're going, "Why would you have to look at the horses?" Funny, too funny. So I think we ended up paying for our trip that day, just on our bets.
Well, that's good.
Good.
Very fun.
Anne Marie
Yeah, Tom, maybe in
said,
a week or so, we can get Woody Coyle back on to tell us all about his week down there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should. Yeah, that's a good
Unbelievable.
idea. See, work on that, Bob.
I will, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody Coyle.
Oh, Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Woody.
yeah, yep.
Those of you who don't know, Woody Coyle spent his life working for the Daily Racing Farm.
Yeah.
He's been around Churchill Downs and River Downs and all the tracks down in
Yeah.
Kentucky. And just retired, I think 3 or 4 years ago at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, what's the name of where's the University of Kentucky?
Lexington.
Yeah, Keeneland. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful course.
Yeah,
In
Keeneland's in
Lexington.
Lexington. Yeah.
Lexington.
Churchill's in Louisville.
Yeah, Churchill's in Louisville, Keeneland's in Lexington.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole course country down there in Kentucky is
Gorgeous.
fantastic. That and the bourbon country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll recommend that too. That's real beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful country.
It
Yeah.
is beautiful there. Yeah,
About-
I've been in the area. Mhm. I
About-
wonder if Christy is maybe going to the race, do you think?
No,
No.
no, I'm sure she's not. But about 2 years ago, I think it was spring, they were having some big horse show down in Lexington.
Oh.
So Christy and her daughter and 2 granddaughters,
Oh,
and
wow.
Judy and her daughter and granddaughter, and myself and my daughter, we all met in Lexington for this horse show. Now everybody has a horse there except me. Just went along for the ride. But it was really fun because we had not ever had our children all together like that. And they had so much in common because they all have horses, and
Mhm.
it was really fun. And
Yeah.
Judy's little granddaughter at the time was about 4, I think, and just adorable.
Oh,
She is just like her mother and just like her grandmother, Judy. Just
No
now
kidding.
does Judy have one child or does she have more than one?
she has a daughter who is a horse vet, and then she has a son who's an English professor, and he has no interest in horses. So it was and the little granddaughter, and she has no fear of anything. I mean, they live on like a farm and animals, and she's showing me how she cleans a horse's hoofs, and she's
Wow.
Cool.
so.
Now, does Judy live close to her granddaughter then, or
She is a half
or her
hour
daughter?
on either side from her daughter and her son.
That's nice to
So,
be.
but it's very rural,
Mhm.
she lives out on a farm, as does her daughter. And then her son lives in kind of a neighborhood near Burlington, Vermont.
Hmm.
So,
Does she live in an area where there are lots of trees?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
So
The
it's
mountain
typical.
behind her, when those trees turn colors in the fall, is just
Oh,
Oh,
spectacular. So, but I think she told you she's getting ready to have an ankle replacement.
What?
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. I think now the surgery's scheduled for July, but it's going to really be.
Well, I heard TK on that recording ask, did you go see your doctor? How's your ankle? And I thought, well, okay. Did she turn her ankle or something?
No, I think about 25, 30 years ago, she fell out of the hayloft and landed on her foot,
Oh,
Oh,
broke her ankle. And she hikes every day for a lot of reasons, but mainly for her lungs. She has to clear them out.
Yeah.
And it's really been bothering her. So she decided she better go ahead and have it replaced.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
That just
well,
horrible.
I never heard of ankle replacement.
Yeah, I know. I think she'll be she'll be in a wheelchair and then crutches, and
yeah.
I think 6 months before she really starts to,
Hey, gone.
Yeah.
well, that's a long recovery.
particularly when you live on basically a farm and have horses and dog and cats and all that to take care
Well,
of.
Jane, you want to go out there and be your stable man?
I am actually going to go out there in September, but she said I won't be. She won't be needing me to do anything.
Okay.
Fancy that.
I don't know. Maybe you should be offended. She probably thinks if you go out there, she's going to have to take care of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably, yeah. So,
Huh.
but I think Tom and Betsy are going out there the 1st of September. They have somebody they're going to visit, and they're going to stop in and see Judy.
Good.
Great.
Good. Mhm.
That's cool. Well, yeah, I heard him say that, I think. Yeah. Huh.
We had the best time. I think Jane and I and who else went on that trip to stay with
Nancy Mallett and Nancy Best.
Nancy
Yeah.
Best, right? We
Yeah.
went on rafting on a river.
Oh my,
Kayaking.
Oh, that's right. We were kayaking.
It was
And
so
it-
funny
it's
because
hilarious.
the
because-
guy that we got the kayaks from kept telling us there would be an area where it was kind of pretty rough from the waters. So the whole way we're like, oh my gosh, we're getting close. And we all had our own, no, did we share? We all had our own kayaks.
We all had our own kayaks, but we were looking for any kind of white river, little white ripple. We were just so afraid we were going to get turned over.
So we
Was
get
it
to that one spot, and if you went to the right, supposedly it wasn't going to be rough. Well, my kayak got stuck in some rocks, and I ended up going left, which was supposed to be where it was rough. The ripples were about that. I mean, there was nothing to it.
I know, and you had fun, and we were all on the right, and we had to get out of the kayaks and carry them over the rocks.
oh geez.
Oh,
It was a lot of fun until I fell into the water getting out of my kayak.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. So,
So nobody turned over because kayaks are pretty tricky.
Yeah.
no, it just was very smooth.
Okay.
No shoot.
Okay. Yeah, if you think you're losing us, we're not losing you.
You know what happens is I was rubbing the dust off of my keyboard. It disappeared.
Just leave the keyboard alone. Don't worry about the dust. If you have to get it rid of it, blow on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I had my cleaning people yesterday, so I'm all clean for Carol.
Okay.
Okay. Well, boy, that's a relief, Carol, because
yeah.
otherwise she'd have put you to work
Right.
cleaning the house.
I want you to get that keyboard cleaned off.
Yeah,
before
I will.
you're here.
Yeah, I'll get-
Okay, Ronnie Siders,
Yes, sir.
as usual, we can't keep you shut up. So tell us what's going on out there in Florida.
Right now, not much going on. I hear some of you talking about the temperatures in the 90s and how it doesn't feel too bad. Obviously, you don't live here in Florida where the humidity just eats you up with it.
Yeah.
I used to love the weather out west when it get up into the 90s or higher even, but there was no humidity. That works out great.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
Yeah. So have you had it up in the 90s yet, Ron?
Supposed to get up there today. I don't think it did yet, but our temperatures, it's getting into May, so we're going to start to see the 90s more frequently, and definitely when we get to June, that's when the weather really changes. It gets more rainy and just gets unbearable.
Mm.
Mm.
But I remember the humidity there in Indiana
No.
Oh,
for a long time. I
And
used to complain
mosquitoes.
about it, but I don't anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So now how much grass do you have to cut?
I got about 5 acres
mhm.
of pasture like, and then the area underneath the trees, it's got some grass, but it's mostly weeds that I have to get after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, the weed growth is backed off a little bit, so
Oh my God.
when it starts to heat up, whatever that weed is, it grows during the winter down here, it dies. So
Huh.
it doesn't like the heat.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Now, do you have,
Do you
You-
mow the pasture or do you have it hayed or?
I just mow it. I don't have it hayed.
Okay.
Doesn't have good grass for producing hay. Now, when I had the animals out there, I used to let them try to mow it for me, but
Yeah.
they couldn't eat enough. So I'd have to either get somebody to come in and give it a quick once over just to trim it up a little bit, make it look good, or sometimes they mow it like a lawn. But since I don't have the animals anymore, I try to get after it maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks and
Oh.
mow it down, just keep it looking good.
How big of a mower do you have?
It's a 60-inch kind of a
Oh,
pull along finish type mower.
Okay.
I pull it behind my compact tractor.
Okay.
interesting.
It takes me roughly, give or take, about 8 hours
Oh my
to
God.
do the entire field. I usually chop it up into about 3 different sessions, so it doesn't kill me out there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I wondered, I remember when you and I first talked, you were telling me about, how much you had to do. And I don't remember you talking about that on any of these calls.
Man.
And I kind of wondered, now that the weather's getting the way it is, if you were going to have to start getting out there and how often you had to do it.
When I have to start getting out there, probably about every 2 weeks, the different parts of it. So I try to chop it up. So I do 3 to 4 hours today, and I'll do 3 or 4 more hours tomorrow. And by the end of the week, I get quite a bit of it taken care of. But,
Do you have any water on your property?
not that you can speak of. I've got what I call my creek, but it comes from like a spring.
Mhm.
And when the water table's up, the stream runs. When the water table's dry, like right now, I don't have any water running through that little stream. So
Okay.
after a rainstorm, I get a lot of water in that stream because it's kind of like in a little valley,
Yeah.
and the water comes in from the higher ground around it.
Okay. Do you have, what different kinds of animals then do you have to deal with there where you are?
I mean, domestic animals?
No,
Wild
like
ones.
snakes.
Crocodiles.
I've had just about every one that you can think of. I've had an alligator came in my barn one time,
Oh my gosh.
little, about a 4-footer, and had to get rid of it. And then snakes are a way of life. So they're all over the place. I don't mess with the black snakes and the garter snakes and that, but I will kill a rattlesnake or had moccasins come into the yard. I live right next to a wildlife preserve.
Okay.
I get a lot of stuff that comes over from there.
Okay.
Then I've got deer. They tear the yard up. And then our biggest culprit is armadillos.
Okay.
Don't have much use for them, and possums all over. I've seen bobcats. They've had a report that there was a black bear in the area, and I haven't seen it, and I don't think anybody around me lives here has seen one, but in that preserve, they say there's one of them in there.
Okay.
About panthers?
Hope it doesn't come out and get in the yard, but
Have you had any panthers?
they are in the area, but they're more about 25 miles north of it.
Oh, no kidding.
In the national forests that are up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have seen a bobcat. I think it was hit by a car out on the interstate, and it was bleeding when I encountered it.
Hmm.
And wild pigs, we got those.
Ugh.
You talk about something that'll tear up a yard,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
they will do a number on
Mhm.
you.
Wow.
Let's see, other than that, those are basically the wild animals that are around.
Yeah. Well,
Most of them, I just kind of let them alone and let them do their thing.
yeah,
I don't like the poisonous ones, so.
yeah.
Definitely not.
No.
uh, And the domestic ones, I used to have the horses and donkeys, goats and that, but, they've all basically died off. And I gave a couple of them away to some friends that had a farm down south of me a ways. They could better keep them and that, so that worked out for the better.
Good, good. Well, we're almost there at 4:20, and I did want to, last week, you guys talked about some movie recommendations, and Jimmy recommended Broadchurch, and I think, Susie, you said you had seen Broadchurch and really thought it was good. And that's on Netflix. Has anyone started to watch the series, and I think this is PBS, Atlantic Crossing?
I have friends that have.
What do you think of that, Carol?
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
We like it. We're not used to, usually we will stay away from movies where you have a lot of subtitles because they're speaking a foreign language. And I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I didn't
I just
expect
thought it would
either.
be a little bit,
Yeah.
but no, it's a lot. It's a lot because it's really focused on Norway.
Yeah, the Norwegian people.
It's about prior to, well, it's not prior to the start of World War II, right before World War II in Europe, before the United States gets involved and all about that, and the Norwegian royal family and coming and how all that ended up factoring into the Roosevelt finally deciding that, you can't keep your head in the sand forever.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Thank goodness. But anyway, so that one I would recommend. I think it's really good. And then what made us think of this, Jane Ann said, "What did we ever recommend? Can you remember the names of
What are
these?
we talking about?
The movies that were subtitles from France, the black guy?
One of them was Lupin.
Lupin.
I
Oh,
watched
Lupin.
that.
Lupin.
Yeah.
Lupin.
That was,
Great.
And there's another one too, and I
but
can't
there was
remember the
another one
name
with that guy in it where he took care
of a
of
paraplegic.
a paraplegic
I saw
wealthy.
it.
Did you see that?
Did.
That
It's
was
very
really-
similar to the one called, oh gosh, let me think of the name. That's where they take care of a paraplegic. I'm blank on the name.
Okay.
Yeah, but that
was
particular
really good.
actor, he is
Oh my
really
gosh.
good. He's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you guys haven't watched that and maybe would shy away from it because it's French and it's
Yes.
all subtitles.
And is that Idris Alban or somebody like that? Was that the?
I don't remember his name, but man, that guy's good.
Yeah.
Well, and
Well,
the first season ends with a terrible cliffhanger. I mean, it's
I know.
Uh-huh.
Where's the
Yeah.
second season?
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
You really, I mean, I'm waiting for them to finish it.
No
Yeah,
kidding. Yeah.
yeah. So Carol, you watched it. You really liked it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be one that normally you guys might shy away from it, but I recommend it. It's really good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
even have to turn the subtitles on when it's the Australian people.
Yeah. But I think one of you guys suggested that
Yeah.
if it's English or Australian or New Zealand, we have to. I think Nancy Beth said I
Yeah.
put subtitles
Yeah.
on there so
Oh
I
my
can tell what they're
gosh.
saying.
Yeah. It's easier than playing it over 14 times and still not know what they said.
Well, okay, it's 4:20. I promise we will take some pictures.
Okay.
What'd you say, Carol?
Nothing, good.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take pictures of our luncheon And,
Jane hasn't said
oh,
it.
Jane, it was
Well,
Jane.
yeah, and I won't be here next Saturday, but Carol can report on our little visit this week.
Okay,
Oh, Carol, you need to send some pictures.
yes.
Oh,
And
okay.
look at your emails on Wednesday.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
okay. Now, wait a minute. Does that mean that we don't get our usual thing on our fix on Friday?
Oh, no, I'll have something on Friday.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say, man, I mean, you've got us hooked. Now we're like drug addicts.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure on your
A
job.
new
Are
drug.
they gonna send us?
It's like every Friday I'm looking for, first thing in the morning, I'm going out there. Did Jimmy Hope send that yet?
Pressure
No, he's
coming
not
to
out
you.
of bed yet.
No, right.
Well, I'll tell you what, every time he has sent that, I mean, it really made my day. I mean,
Yes.
it just got
Oh,
me all
God.
happy and I'm feeling good.
I was dancing in the bathroom.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, we'll see you next week, everybody.
Everybody,
You
have-
guys, thanks. Have a good
Bobby,
week.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
Wednesday.
See you Wednesday, Tom.
I'll
Thank
see
you.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Kate.
Hey, Bob, take
Have a
care.
good luncheon,
Bye.
guys.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. Everybody else has got to get off first.
there you
Oops.
go. X.
X.